What's going on, guys? Jim, the game guru. Okay, we just had the indie world. Kind of want to talk about some of the highlights in the indie world. A couple of things too, as I want to go over one game that has a huge mega sale on the eShop and two eShop updates of particular titles. If you guys are new here, please consider subscribing. I do give away a Switch game every single month, and I do have a bonus giveaway this month on an Animal Crossing Nintendo Switch case, and that is a big thank you for reaching over 500 subscribers on the channel. The first thing is the massive sale that's going on for QuakeCon with Bethesda games. And one title in particular is Wolfenstein 2 New Colossus. I've been waiting for this game to drop on sale. Now, Bethesda has done this regularly. They come out with these seasonal sales, and these seasonal sales are usually about 50% off on most of their games. But this one is on sale for 70% off. Awesome first-person shooter. So if you're into first-person shooters and you've been waiting for a big title like this to drop in sale, this has finally hit 70% off. So it's all the way down to $18. It is definitely worth a pickup. Two eShop updates. Remember that game a while ago on a bunch of the indie worlds, and maybe, I can't remember if it was on a direct, and it was Baldo. That game, the game Baldo. And then all of a sudden, it disappeared. I mean, there's a few games that has happened to where these titles just disappear out of nowhere. And Sports Story is another one. Axiom Verge 2 was another one that disappeared. You didn't hear anything about it. Well, Baldo is another one of those games where it disappeared. It finally has ended up on the eShop on the coming soon list. And it's about, I think it's $25. I think this game looks really, really cool. I love the art style. It kind of feels like a game with a deep story that has a little bit of Zelda-style action to it. A little bit of isometric, but the art style is just wicked on it. I absolutely love it. The only thing about this game that is holding me back, the only thing is Oceanhorn, because Oceanhorn 2 and the first Oceanhorn were absolutely disappointing games, especially Oceanhorn 2 on the Switch was probably one of the biggest disappointments. I fear with Baldo, I fear another disappointment just like Oceanhorn. I think it's going to go one of two ways. It's either going to be an amazing game or it's going to be another Oceanhorn where it just disappears and it's really, really bad. Fingers crossed that Baldo is actually a really good game. I think that comes out later on this month around the 27th. Then there is Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania. I recently picked up Banana Blitz on a big sale, and then, wouldn't you know it, 2 or 3 days later, they put Banana Mania up on the eShop. And this one has way more levels. It has a bunch of the older Monkey Ball titles, remastered, HD. Like, it's huge. I think it's like 300 plus levels or something. And I think it also has Banana Blitz in it, which really irked me. It really, I mean, right after buying Banana Blitz, and then now this one comes out and it contains that, I was like, oh my god. So I'm not sure if it has everything from Banana Blitz or if it's just a few levels from it. But yeah, that one is going to be coming out too. So if you're into like Super Monkey Ball and you want to have a ton of these Super Monkey Ball levels and like different fun modes to play with multiplayer, because I believe in this one you can also play 4-player local co-op in it. I think that might be a good time. I'm actually kind of curious on that. It does have some shitty ass microtransactions for some of the retro classic stuff content in the game, which is kind of annoying. So it's $40, but then if you end up paying $50, then you can get some of that classic stuff. I think they could have just included that in the $40 price range. I don't know why they're being like that. So let's go into my highlights for the indie world. This is the first indie world that I feel like a lot of the good games, they had those up front and center. Because in the previous indie worlds, they had like that rapid fire, show a bunch of games at the end. And that's when they had the awesome games. This one right here, I think they, I think they brought everything front and center. And then when they got to that rapid fire part, it was a lot of junk titles. For me personally, but never know. Some of those might be little gems there somewhere. The first game that I really, really am interested in is Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. Now, the reason why this interests me is because I'm a huge Jet Set Radio fan. I absolutely love Jet Set Radio. I can't tell if this is like a sequel to that or if it's just a whole new game that just by coincidence looks like Jet Set Radio. And the other thing I couldn't tell is whether or not this game actually has more of an open world element, because like a Jet Set Radio, you had different levels that you were kind of confined in a certain area. This one kind of looks like it's a little bit more open, that you can kind of go throughout the city. So I'm hoping it's like that. That would be absolutely amazing. But yeah, that one is definitely on my radar. I'm super excited about that. Then there's Tome, a photo adventure. I think this one oozes with charm. It looks super, super relaxing. And if you guys have seen my compilation video for my relaxing games, I love relaxing titles, you know, whether it's farming or just goofing off and taking pictures or whatever. This one, it just has so much charm with its black and white in the whole environment, and it looks like a good, relaxing title. So I cannot wait till that one comes out. I'm hoping that one is priced at a good price. If they put it at $30, I think it's going to be a nail in the coffin for that game. I hope they bring it down to about $10, which I think is probably best. But in reality, it's probably going to target around $15 or $19 for that, because I feel like a lot of newer indie titles kind of try to stay within that 19 to 29 price range. I hope it doesn't get 29, but we will see. Then there is Loop Hero, so this is with Devolver Digital. It looks like it's another roguelike. I like the pixel art in it. I'm not sure about the gameplay. I'm not sure if the gameplay really entices me to want to play this title. It's okay looking, but I cannot judge a book by its cover, because who knows, it may be an awesome ass roguelite. We will see. All right, Garden Story, great pixel art. It looks like it's mostly adventure based. It's almost like Zelda, but in like plants and like other little creatures and stuff. Completely dig the colors in it. I completely dig the pixel art, and it looks like it has a very entertaining story. I'm not sure on how deep it's going to go into as far as building the town and the farming and stuff like that. So that's one thing I'm very curious about. And the only reason why I really haven't pulled the trigger on this title is because I'm not sure if the story is going to be fantastic, and I'm not sure if the elements of building and farming are actually going to be there. Okay, so what else we have? Axiom Verge 2, a no-brainer for me. As soon as I saw it's out, I picked it up, I bought it. I have not had a chance to play it yet, but I will play it, and I will create a video reviewing it. I'm going to be honest here, I'm not a big fan of the color palette they used on this title. I feel like the first Axiom Verge had a much nicer color palette with the dark red and the darkness to it, and like some of the enemies look better. This one with like the green and the blue and things are kind of light. I just hope the story on this one is really good, and I hope the enemies look good, and I hope the level design is actually really solid. Can't wait to dig in, and we'll find out. And usually Axiom Verge is very similar along the line with a lot of Metroidvanias, kind of inspiration from Super Metroid. I don't know if the second one is going to be similar to that or not. Then there's Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon. I think this one looks really, really cute. I love Shovel Knight. I love Treasure Trove. Treasure Trove has a lot of content. It's absolutely fantastic. And this looks like another good title from this developer. I'm a little worried about the puzzle elements to it. I'm hoping they implement that spot on, so the puzzle parts are really fun. I have a good feeling that they're going to do a good job on it. Usually they take their time. They do and they implement some good gameplay. It's a lot of the Shovel Knights games. So I'm hoping that is going to translate to this title as well. Okay, Islanders. So Islanders, wow. So this one, you're building like a little town on these little islands. When I first saw the trailers for this in the indie world, I was like, nah, because I was thinking it was going to be about 15 or 19 bucks. And immediately I'm like, nah, this doesn't look good enough to be a $15, $19 game. So I'll probably end up skipping it. But then I went onto the eShop, and it was $5. I'm like, wow. So as soon as I saw that for $5, I immediately purchased it. I love the games on the eShop that are $5 or less. A lot of them are trash, but then every now and then you come across these ones where you're rolling the dice, you spend your $5, which is the price of a Starbucks drink, and you end up hitting a gem. Every now and then you'll hit that gem for $5 and you're like, wow, it was a good spend of my $5. So I'm hoping that as soon as I dig in and play it, I'm hoping that it was $5 well spent, but I cannot wait to tear into that. Now the game that I think was probably the best game in the indie world, and it's because I have a little bit of nostalgia for it, and that is Metal Slug Tactics. I think the pixel art looks amazing on that game. I love all sorts of games. Adventure, first-person shooters, 3D, you name it, strategy, tactics, and this being a tactic game, it was right up my alley too. I think the pixel art is amazing. The characters stay true to Metal Slug. I like the environments. I like how all of a sudden as you get further in, it's certain parts of the environments kind of just load in like through this cool effect. The boss looked awesome that they showed on there. And I like how like sometimes they had the cartoony characters will show up like in an overlay. So yeah, it looks really, really good. I hope the gameplay is fantastic on the title. As long as they stick to that style and use that beautiful pixel art that they have right now. As long as the tactical battle elements are solid and they're amazing, I think this game will be highly successful. But it all depends on the depth of the game. And that's the other thing I'm worried about, because Metal Slug was very arcade style game. It's an arcade shooter. I'm worried about the depth of this game. So if they introduce a bunch of characters, if they introduce a bunch of abilities and weapons and stuff, and they have a bunch of different types of enemies, and they get kind of deep into that, it could be a very good game. If it's shallow and the gameplay sucks, it's gonna kill this game. That's the only thing that I'm worried about. Then we have Tetris Effect. Tetris has that classic arcade puzzle action. I was kind of a little iffy on this one, and the reason why I'm a little iffy on this one for the Switch is because this game is also available in VR. As you guys already know, I own a Quest 2. I also have VR videos that I push out every now and then on this channel. Tetris Effect, I feel like I'd rather buy that on the Quest because I feel I'll be a little bit more in the environment. I'll actually get into the game and actually truly feel the environment of Tetris Effect. I think with a Switch, it's not going to have that amount of impact, and I don't really see a reason to get this game if you already own a VR headset. Unless the Switch version has something that's completely different than all the other versions, and they bring something new to the table, then I could see that. But for me, I will probably pass on this game on the Switch, only because I can buy it on the Quest 2. Last game is Eastward. I think this one it looks interesting. I like the pixel art in it. It looks like it's a big adventure. I think this one boils down to how good's the gameplay, how good's the story, how good are the characters. Can't get a sense of that right now just by looking at the trailers. There's nothing in there that was like, oh my god, it's so awesome, I need to play it right now. It was more of a mysterious trailer. We'll see. I mean, I'm hoping it's good. I'm hoping the story is just amazing. I don't have high hopes for Eastward, to be honest, but I could totally be wrong. It could be the most amazing game that comes out, but I don't know. We'll take a look at that when it comes out. I'm probably gonna end up picking the game up anyway, probably when it hits a super deep sale, but I'm kind of curious to see what other people think about that before, like right when it gets released or even before it gets released. But yeah, that's how I felt about the Indie World August 2021. If you guys are new here, please consider subscribing, and if you like this video, please like, and I will see you in the next video, guys. Bye.